How are you?
Hello everyone.
So this is Dr. Mayank. I'm Dr. Rajlakshmi, and today we are going to discuss about the low back pain. As you know that low back pain has been a major cause during, before, and after the pandemic. So we'll talk about the low back pain. What are the causes? What kind of low back pains are there, and how to manage them. All right. So let's start with the structure of your spine. Um, we have so the low back comprises of your bones, that is your vertebrae, your sacrum, and the hip bone. There are intervertebral discs which are in between your vertebrae. There is a spinal cord from which the nerves arise, and there is core muscle that covers the entire tummy of yours.
So there are five lumbar. So there are five lumbar vertebra, the sacrum and the hip bone. The intervertebral disc, like ma'am explained, the spinal cord and nerves and the core muscles. So next is the bones. Five vertebrae comprise of sacrum and the hip bone, making the sacroiliac joint, and its natural shape is S-shaped curved with the whole spine. So next is
The lumbar curve. It is the lumbar curve is called the lordotic curve. It is the inwards curve of the spine, and any unwanted or improper movement or loading of the spine leads to either hyper curvature, that is hyperlordosis, or the flattening of the curve, that is called the flat back. There is a term spondylolisthesis, which means that there is a slipping of your one vertebrae over the other one. So it can be either forward slipping, or it can be backward slipping as well. So there is IV disc, that is your intervertebral disc. It is a jelly-like structure, and it acts like a shock absorber. So the slip disc, or in other words, which is called the prolapse disc, it is the gelatinous inner pulp of the disc. It comes out of the harder outer ring, and further leads to your disc bulge, and it irritates your nerve, which causes what is commonly known as the sciatic pain or sciatica. So the core muscles comprises of your tummy muscles, that is your abdominal muscles, your back muscles, that is the posterior spinal muscles, your side waist muscles, your buttock muscles, your pelvic muscles, and your diaphragm, which is just below your rib cage. They act as a belt to support the spinal structure. Ideally, the bones and the disc carry around 30% of the spinal load, and the muscle carries 70% of the load. So if your muscles are weak, the load shifts to your spine, which causes pain in the back. Thus, you have to keep your core muscles very strong. Okay, so Dr. Mayank will
So
explain
we'll
the.
start with the question and answering after the explanation of all the back pain and other things. So just wait for the briefing.
Yeah.
So I'll explain the type of back pain. So they are back pain are divided into various types. So first, the basic one is mechanical and posture. It's called mechanical pain or postural pain, which is associated with the posture, bad posture, or prolonged sitting. Next is non-specific pain, which can be because of any uh, any disease, any tumor, etc. Third is the SI joint dysfunction. SI joint dysfunction is sacrum and ilium joint, which make a joint called sacroiliac joint. So sacroiliac joint dysfunction causes the back pain. So next is the lumbar muscle spasm. So lumbar area, the L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 comprises and surrounding by the paraspinal muscles. So spasm of those muscles causes a lumbar muscle spasm. And the next is piriformis syndrome. Piriformis, it's a small muscle, it's a peach shape of muscle, which irritate the sometimes it irritate the sciatic nerve and causes the pain. So it's called piriformis syndrome. And next is structural alteration, upslip and downslip of pelvis or bone. So now next is mechanical low back pain. Dr. Ara will explain mechanical pain.
Okay, so the low back pain, which is caused by posture, is categorized as the mechanical low back pain. So it can be due to improper posture while sitting, standing, walking, or while doing any exercises. If your postures are not correct, it gives mechanical low back pain. It is mainly due to the weakness of your core muscles, or you have strained your back muscles during exercises or lifting any heavy objects or something like that. So another reason that is very very important is your improper ergonomics. That's when you're sitting in your office, and if the ergonomics or the structural corrections are not there while working, so it gives mechanical low back pain. If you're not doing your exercises properly, if you're not well informed while doing the exercises, it also leads to your mechanical pain. Other reasons are your pregnancy. If you are pregnant, and after pregnancy, usually our muscles, they become weak, they become lax or loose. So because of that, the chances of your mechanical low back pain arises more.
So like us, we are not in a proper ergonomical structure now.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a pain on upper back and lower back. So we have to be in proper ergonomic chair and other thing. So we'll
Yeah.
explain in later after the briefing.
So usually what happens is when you are lying down on the bed, your spine is completely supported, and in that time around 25 kgs of weight pressure is put on your spine. If you're lying down on the side, it becomes 75%. So it keeps on increasing. The pressure on the intervertebral disc keeps on increasing as you change your postures. The worst posture is when you're sitting on a chair and lifting some heavy object in a wrong fashion. That causes your back pain. That causes a lot of your back pain, and it has around 275 pressure of weight. So while lifting, while standing, while sitting, it is very essential for you that you maintain a correct posture. You tuck your tummy in so that you activate your inner core muscles, and then you lift your any heavy weight or some or any other activities which you have to do, so that you're not hurting your spine. Okay. So Dr. Mayank will explain this SI joint dysfunction.
So the sacroiliac joint dysfunction. So it's because of swelling between the sacroiliac joint, felt in the lower back, inner upper side of the buttock, and because of some arthritic history and similar to other disc pain.
So usually it presents as a back pain, a slip disc pain. But if you see, it is just adjacent to your sacrum. It is in the upper and the inner side of your buttock muscle. So if you have a history of any injury, or if you have history of arthritis, then chances are you might get a SI joint dysfunction as well, right? So, a briefing about piriformis syndrome. It is most commonly called as the buttock pain syndrome, and it is caused due to the pinching of sciatic nerve in the buttock muscle or the piriformis muscle. So, in here, the radiation goes from your buttock to the leg, and it usually is not presented in the back. It is similar to sciatica. So, if you want to distinguish whether you have a disc pain, or you have a sciatic pain, or you have a piriformis syndrome, you always have to observe whether you have a back pain or no, or it's just from your buttock radiating down your leg. So if you have pain as such, then I think you can distinguish between back pain, common back pain, and the piriformis syndrome. So it is important to consult a ortho or a physio to determine exactly what is your condition. Like I explained, whether you have a piriformis syndrome, or you have a SI joint dysfunction, or you have a lumbar disc herniation or something. So you have to consult an ortho and a physio so that they can exactly tell you what your condition are and what are the causes of your condition, right? So whether your condition is due to upslipping or downslipping of the hip, that is your structural alteration is present or no, or whether one muscle is firing and the other muscle is not firing, that is causing the imbalance in between your core muscles, that can be a lead cause of your back pain as well, right? Other thing is to correct your posture. It is very, very, very important that you correct your posture all the time. I know it is very hard to maintain a perfect posture all day long, but try to maintain it as much as possible so that you reduce the chances of having a low back pain. All right. Then you have to do is strengthening of your core muscles, and you have to do that while using medical exercises, right? Another tip for you is working out in the presence of a well trained instructor. You are not the boss when it comes to lifting heavy objects, so it is important that you are observed all the time while you are working out, so that your postures are correct, your form is correct, and you're not hurting yourself, right? And one more thing that you have to take care of is to avoid long hours of unchanged posture. Even if you're lying down and you're not sleeping, you have to make sure that you get up after 45 minutes to 1 hour, so that your postures are not maintained and you're not stressing more on your back, right? And always take care of your back. If your body is telling you that you have to rest, if your body is not taking that much effort, so it is necessary for you to rest, so that it can regenerate itself and re-energize itself, and you have a healthy back. All right. And yes, one more thing, you have to foam roll all the time so that you release the tightened muscles by yourself. You can go to the physios and they can release it properly. But if you're not able to go out, if there's a pandemic situation, and if you want to regularly release your muscles, so I suggest that you do foam rolling of your back and your legs. Okay.
Okay, now the question and answers. I think we're getting a lot of questions. So, so first question is, I have a pain in my back and neck. My chair does not have neck support. What should how should I adjust my chair? So, for this, the ideal situation is just buy a new chair, but I'll not suggest for to buy a new chair. So just use one or two pillow to erect your spine, and use anything just like a pillow to for your arm support, your leg support, and just to maintain your proper posture.
Should we get the pillow?
Yeah, okay. So chair like this. Suppose I'm sitting like this. So my shoulder are dropped, my posture is bad now. So just add one pillow so that your spine is erect and your shoulders are not dropping.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in the previous live session, we had discussed that a spine is a whole unit. It goes from your top of your neck to the bottom of your buttock. So, if you are supporting your lower back, your upper neck will also be supported, right? So, if your sitting posture is not favorable for you, not ergonomically favorable for you, like Dr. Mayank, he does not have a neck support. So, he just has to support your lower back. Eventually your neck will also be supported. So yeah.
Just add one more pillow for your hand rest. Yes.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, so we have a question that I work on laptop and it has started giving me pain. I cannot sit for more than 2 hours. Okay, so technically you're not supposed to sit for more than 2 hours. It is, as I explained to you right now, that after every 45 minutes to 1 hour, you have to change your posture, right? Working on laptop, I need to know whether you're sitting on chair, a proper ergonomical structure, or you're sitting on a table, dining table, or on bed. If you're sitting on a dining table or a bed, I would suggest that you avoid that. Give a good desk chair and a desk so that your legs, your neck, and your back is completely supported while doing the walk, right? And yes, of course, always stretch and do a couple of exercises in between so that you are keeping your back loosened up. Right?
And also avoid prolonged sitting. And for to avoid prolonged sitting, just stretch a little bit sideways, front, back, general thing. So
Yeah.
now next question.
So the next question. Okay. I think these are the questions for now. We can go further.
Okay. So for back pain, general exercises are bridging, tabletop, leg raises, spinal extension, and stretching. So bridging is a basic one. We'll explain it later. And so we got so next question is highly appreciated.
No, that is okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are still going on, and we are happy to help you about that. Okay, let's start with the exercises. All right, Dr. Man.
So for back exercises, first and the basic one is bridging. So bridging, you can do it on anywhere, bed, mat. So for bridging,
The first one is your bridging. Usually, what people do is they bend their knees and they lift up their back. Lift up. This is wrong, right? Always engage your core whenever you're doing a bridge. How do you engage your core?
so for engaging your core, the basic thing. So this is the my normal posture. So for engaging my core, just I'll roll my pelvic up like this. So this is my normal posture.
Yeah.
So for engaging my core, I'll roll my pelvic up like this. Okay? Like I'm zipping my core, my abdominal muscle, like up and relax. Same with lying position.
Over here, you bend your knees, tilt your pelvis in, right? And then lift your back up. Hold it for 10 counts, and then from top, from your chest, you go down. So first your chest, your lower back, and your buttocks. Similarly, when you're coming up, again, roll your pelvis in. First take your buttocks up, then your lower back, and your then chest. Right? So you have to follow this motion. Okay, you have to follow this motion so that each and every segment of your spine is activated properly, and each and every segment of your spine gets an activity to be done. Alright? The next posture is your tabletop, a very essential posture for your the core muscle. What you have to do is again tilt your hip in, lift one leg up to 90 degrees and then the other leg up to 90 degrees, right? So if you see, Dr. Mayank has 90 degrees everywhere. So the back and the hip is at 90 degree, and the hip and the knee is at 90 degree, and then your ankle and your leg are also at 90 degree. So you have to maintain this posture so that you're not stressing more on the unnecessary muscles while your core is activated, right? After that, when you're coming down, you want your hip to be moved and not the knees. So when you're coming down, the knee angle should remain at 90 degrees and the hip angle goes down. So usually what they do is they lift up and then they bend your knee down. I don't want you to do that. That will not affect, that will not help you in your core exercise at all. Right? So you maintain a 90 degree of your knee. Can you shift a little bit? Yeah. Okay? And one by one, you start bending your knee. Up, hold it for 10 counts, and then drop down. This is the first exercise you do while doing a tabletop. You can do with both the legs, but initially you have to start with one leg so that you know how the motion occurs, how each and every segment is moving, right? Once you're aware of these motions, and you can further go to lifting both the legs up. So for the expert ones, I would say roll your pelvis in and then lift both the legs up. Right? Up. So make sure when you're lifting up, your back is not arching. So there is no gap in between your back while lifting. If you're doing so, then I would suggest that you drop one by one and get your legs one by one. Alright? Are you okay? Okay, can we go further? Okay. So the next one is spinal extension exercise. Can you roll over? Usually, what happens is the whole day we are not bound to have a backward movement as such as compared to your forward movement. So extending your back is most essential for you. If you're not able to do a backward motion, you can just place your elbow right under your shoulder and gently look up. So you get a good curve all from the top to the bottom, right? If you're mobile enough and you're able to move, if your flexibility allows you, then what you can do is sit down. Yeah. Keep your hands underneath your shoulder, and from the lumbar, you have to keep moving. Make sure that your hip is attached to the floor and it is not coming all the way up. So I don't want your thighs to be exposed to anybody. So keep your hip down and then breathe out. Breathing out helps you in relieving the pressure of the thorax and abdomen, and which leads to relieving your spine as well further, right? So you go down slowly and do it 10 times or 15 times. And this exercise is very essential, so you can do it like 5 or 6 times a day. Okay? The other exercises are your leg raises. So usually people say that leg raises are not important for you, but yes, it is important. If you're not lifting your legs properly, then you're not using your core, you're using just the thigh muscles, which is again causing imbalance, and hence forward it gives problems of your hip, pain in your hip. So tuck your tummy in while lifting your leg up and down and kicking it back or sideways. All right. You want to go for the stretches now?
So next question is some exercise to make muscles strong.
Yeah. So we have just given a few examples of the core muscle exercises right now. The spinal extension muscle is for the strengthening of your back muscle and also relieving the pressure from the spine. The tabletop was for strengthening your lower belt of your spine. That is, it comes in the lower region. Can you take it out? Yeah. There is a muscle over right here. It is very essential for maintaining a good posture when it comes to forward bending, right? And the bridging is very essential for your glute muscles. and when you are taking it up segment wise up and down, then your small muscles which are present, so there are small muscles which are present right between your vertebrae, and they help you in tightening the core very nicely. So they help you in strengthening those muscles as well.
So next question is, what should be my pillow size? What says should be thin
Okay.
and okay. Some say it should be thick, some say it should be thin. So for your pillow size, so depending on what posture you are lying or sleeping in, straight line or side line. If you are sleeping in a straight line position, spine position,
So, if you're lying down on your back, so the pillow thickness should be of your shoulder, the thickness of your shoulder, so that your neck is completely supported. And if it is a thin pillow, then your neck is going to fall off. Like if your pillow is thin, then the neck is falling off, which we don't want. Also, if the pillow is thick, you're again bending your neck the whole night, which again is going to cause you a problem. So ideal pillow for you should be according to the size of your shoulder. It should be as thick as your shoulder. This is for your. This is if you're lying down on your back. If you're lying down on your side, then it should be as thick as the point from the shoulder to your neck. So if again see, if it is thin, your neck is going to droop down. If it is very thick, your neck is going to bend on the opposite direction. So it is essential to maintain a good size of the pillow, which is from the neck to the tip of your shoulder. Right?
so for side position, pillow side should be which cover your ear distance and your shoulder distance. So next question is, I have lower back pain, can't sit straight for yoga.
When do you do yoga? Like what time do you do yoga? So if you can't sit straight, I think there are yoga postures which help you in straightening your back. So you have to discuss this with your yoga instructor, and if it is not helping, then I would suggest that you show your posture, show your muscles to any physio, so they will alter if anything is necessary in the exercises.
So next is exercise while sitting in front of laptop. Okay, you can do a very basic exercise while sitting in a laptop for prolonged duration. Just squeeze your buttock, squeeze in, squeeze out. Just squeeze your buttock just to activate the buttock muscle. So for prolonged sitting and for prolonged duration, your glutes muscle become it's shut down. So it causes a lot of back pain and your low back pain, upper back pain. Just start squeezing your glutes muscle for 10 to 20 times. Just squeeze and relax. Just squeeze and relax. You have to feel the contraction of your glutes muscle, squeezing contraction for 10 to 15 times. These are the basic one. And you can also tuck your tummy in and just relax. Tummy in and relax.
Other thing what you can do is you can also stretch your buttocks. You can pull your knee to your chest one at a time, and
Knee to chest, one
yeah,
at a time, and
hold
hold
for
for at least 10 to 20 seconds
yeah.
with proper breathing and just relax. Same with the other leg, just stretch and just relax.
So while sitting, you can also do a side bending. You can hold your hand just behind your ear and just slide your hand down as if you are trying to pick up something from the floor and get up, and do it on the opposite side as well. Similarly, you can just twist. You're trying to reach something. You're trying to look at someone. Just turn around Don't go overboard. You might stress your back as well in this. Just try to stretch yourself. Look, imagine as if somebody is calling you and you're trying to look back. So these are the exercises which you can do on the while sitting on the laptop. So there is like my 13-year-old son has developed a back pain. He does squash and also plays football. So exercises. What is the solution for that? Okay. I think footballers and squash players they usually develop low back pain because they're not stretching enough or their muscles are very tight. So I suggest he does foam rolling as well. Foam rolling or using the same squash ball he can roll it on his lumbar spine. We'll explain you this foam rolling how it is supposed to be done in a while. He can do that and he can stretch before and after before the and after the training session. Okay.
So next is, can I share your personal problem later? You can
Yes,
share
sure.
anytime. You can share your personal problem.
Should he change his routine? Yeah, it depends upon what routine he is following. Any sports, you can discuss this with your sports physio as well, whether which exercises are not suitable for him. In general term, I cannot suggest that you should change the routine altogether. First, he needs to be checked whether the routine is suiting him or no, or whether his muscles have become so tight that they are not allowing the motion. Also, because these days children they carry a lot of weight in the backpack, and that causes further damage or deterioration of the spinal health. So it is essential for them to strengthen the back as well for the extra movement.
So next question is from Shalini Dhingra. I am a patient of low back pain. I am a housewife. I cannot cook food for more than 20 minutes. What precautions should I take to reduce it?
So, okay. Usually, when you're not able to cook food, so usually when you're not able to stand for more than 20 minutes, it is usually because you have a low energy or low muscle power of the glutes and your core. So strengthen these muscles, and you can alter your habits. Like if you're chopping, you can sit and chop your vegetables and then go on and cook. So the time limit also reduces. There are other various ways where you have to adjust your height of the table whenever whatever you're doing. So like heavy objects, if you're doing any heavy activity, it should be on your umbilicus or your stomach level. And if you go for a finer motion like chopping or writing or something, it should be on the tip of your chest bone. It should be in the level of your chest bone.
We start doing some basic exercises for your strengthening of your lower back core so that you can maintain a duration of more than 20 minutes. So next question is from Jayajit. I ride bike daily 30 kilometer. I'm having mid back pain. What to do? Please tell.
Okay. So bike riders, they usually are in a hunch position because that's how they get the draft, and they are so that the speed increases, right? So they develop a back pain while riding. 30 kilometers is okay. You ride daily? Yeah. Okay. So you ride daily. So it is okay to ride 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers riding a bike is not a bigger deal. You can drive that, but if it is hurting you right now, you can always take breaks. Like after every 10 kilometers, you just stand up, twist yourself, like do a stretch, and then go on.
And while riding the bike, just maintain the upper back posture. So while riding, the shoulder becomes like shrug or hunched. So you have to maintain the shoulder posture.
Sure.
So you have to maintain the shoulder shrug. Just maintain that it's not going more up or hunch. You have to maintain for your shoulder posture.
So Guru Prasad Sharma says that 1 week back I got my slip disc during shower. Okay, so okay, fine. Uh, so was it a herniation or a bulge? So there are four different levels of disc bulge. If even if you have a disc bulge, I don't think so. It is a major deal because if you see many of the people. Right now are having low disc bulges and still they are able to maintain they are able to carry on their life. Even the athletes they have disc problems but it is not a major issue for that matter. You just have to maintain a good posture. You just have to focus more on your core muscles so that they are maintaining they are taking off the load from the spine and they are not pushing they are not deteriorating of the health of the spine. Yeah.
So next question is from Rahul Mishra. I have a standing job and that is causing a lot of pain. Any tip and solution for this? Okay. Of standing job, just basic thing, just avoid standing for prolonged duration. Just take small gaps, small rest after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes. General stretch, general body stretch like side bending, forward bending, twisting, and you can rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Then you can start with your work.
Yeah. Also, when you're standing, your glutes are overpowering your other core muscles. So, stretching of your glutes is stretching of your buttock muscles is very essential for maintaining a good posture, right? Also, like Dr. Mayank explained you earlier, you have to do a pelvic tilting motion so that your core is activated and your spine is neutralized.
Next question is from Rishabh Mutkal. Can't stand for long hours. Okay.
Low back pain. Okay.
Lower back pain.
Okay. So for again, it's can't stand for long hours. Um, what exactly? How long can't you stand? And do you need to stand for a longer hours? If so, um, just let me know. I need more details about it actually. Yeah.
Okay. From Selvan, my job requires me to wear heel, but because of the back pain, I am not able to wear them. What should I do? Okay. Dr. Adam?
Okay. um, all right. So yeah, this is very common question. Like I want to wear heels, but my back is hurting. You can switch your heels. Like if you're wearing 4 inch or a 3 inch heel, you can go for kitten heels, which is smaller, or you can increase the platform of your heel, the sole, so that so if it is a flat 4 foot platform, make sure that the platform is increased so that you have a greater base of support. Also, if you go for a block heel instead of a pencil heel or a stiletto, I think it will give you more base and it will reduce the stress on the back. And do you have to stand for a long time or sitting is your job? I need to know that as well so that I can further clarify what else you can do. Okay. Patient. I'm a 70-year-old CABG patient and started developing Parkinson's syndrome. I fell down and now I'm on restricted mobility. Okay. Some stretches can improve the can limp or improve? Okay. Well, I did a matter of the spine, but oh, wow, it's a long question. Right. Very nicely explained your condition, which is nice. I did MRI of spine, but could visit doctor here. Can you contact? Just- Yes, of course you can contact it. I need all the history. Like when did you have your CABG and okay, and what your MRI suggests. So if you contact us, it will be very fine. We can give you more detailed analysis of your spinal condition as well. Okay.
Okay, next is Guru Prasad Sharma. Can I use small pillow under the lower back? No. So just use a small pillow under below your knee, not under your lower back. So you can use a small pillow under your knee.
Yeah. So low back, you don't want to stress on your lower back, and the pelvis also tilts more, which further causes more pain and loosening of your front core muscles. So when you're keeping a pillow under your knee, you're maintaining a flat
Flat
back
back.
so that it is under lesser stress. Right?
So if you use a pillow under your lower back, your spine will become like this. If you're using a pillow like under your back, spine will become like this. So just use a pillow under your knee, so your spine will become flat. It will become a very relaxing position.
I have been having back pain since few weeks. When I sleep on my right side, it pains more. I cannot lie on my back or the left side as it is very uncomfortable for me. I keep waking up. I have been sleeping on my right side since my childhood. What should I do? Okay, so you have developed a back pain for few weeks, right? So what you can do is you can just place a pillow in between your knees so that your hip is stabilized. So your hip is not dropping up or down, right? And in that way you can support your spine. So it is not hurting your back that much.
For Jayant Mehta, what precaution to be taken while long car driving, please? Okay. So for long car driving, just use a back arch, or just support your back, or you can use a neck support. And same when driving, your posture become like shrugged or hunched. So just use a back arch or neck support.
Also, when you are driving, make sure your legs are supported properly, and your legs are not all the way back, or your back is all the way back. There are ways to adjust the seat so that it is not. Even if you have a little bit of tummy, you can just recline it a little bit, and you can drive so that your back is not completely erect and causing you stress.
Okay, next is from Yusuf again. Like traveling in metro and in buses, I have to stand for long hours. Maybe this is causing low back pain. Pain, what to do? Okay.
Okay, so yeah, buses actually they cause a lot of pain. Metros not that much, but yeah, buses because you are always getting a stress. You're always hitting on something or someone. Also, the seats are not that supportive as compared to going in a car or traveling in metro, right? So you can either hold on to something like if there is a bar or if there is a handle so that your focus goes from the back to your hand and it is supporting the spine. Also again I don't want to repeat it again and again that you have to strengthen your core. That is a basic thing that you have to do anyways. And yeah, if possible, try to sit in between. You can ask the fellow passengers, can I sit for a while, like for 5-10 minutes, and then you can sit back. I think,
Also for traveling, not only lower back, you just start exercising for your upper back, lower body
yeah.
as well. So, okay.
Yeah, stop wearing heel, you'll get rid of it. Yeah, but if your job profile is asking for that, you cannot do that. So you can change the heel type.
Okay, Gaurav Prasad, as you have told about this, recent years there was during MRI,
Okay.
during MRI.
Okay.
So my weight is 80 kg. How much weight should be applied while using traction belt?
There are there are various people who say that traction belt is not a good option. In some places, it is banned. So I would suggest that traction belt is a little bit unconventional for us. We usually don't use them right now. You can go for a manual therapy if you want. That is more controlled, and the therapist knows how to control the traction of your spine and he can further help you so that if you're not comfortable with that, the therapist can just stop over there. But in traction belt, it takes a little. It is a machine after all. You cannot replace a manual person from a machine, right? So I would suggest you go for a manual therapy rather than traction therapy.
Skip my question, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
What was your
Repeat the
question?
question now. Stop getting it. Okay.
No, that was the reply actually. He has asked some question. Sammy, can you repeat the question? We are not able to get the question right now.
Okay, can you please repeat
Yeah,
your
can you
question?
repeat the question? It's not visible. That was the only thing. Yeah. Yes, should we show them the foam rolling then? Yeah. So foam rolling we are going to do for the back, for the buttock muscles, for the hamstrings and the calf. So it is essential that your spine does not contract completely. It should be supple, it should be movable, it should be flexible. So the muscles, they also need to stretch themselves out. So foam rolling is one of the most essential thing. An athlete, anybody who is working out or who has a lot of back issues, they can utilize this technique. And you can do it at home. And if you are not able to get the results which are required, then you can definitely go to the physiotherapist. So we are going to show you some tips for foam rolling.
So, the foam rolling topic, I will state the foam rolling technique.
So foam rolls, they come in different sizes and they come in different intensities. If you are more sensitive, then you can go for a lighter version like this. And if you are strong, your muscles are very tight, then you can go for the harder
Hardest
surface.
surface is the spine.
So it has spikes and all, so that small areas are also stimulated more. Alright? So you want to have the harder one? So here, you lie down, you sit on your back, right? Hold your head with your hand, bend your knees. Now put your focus on the heel and drag your back up and down. So try to go back as well, right? So you go from the neck, base of the neck to the lower back, right? Yeah. If your neck is weak, then you can support it with your hand. If you're strong enough, then you can keep it over on your chest. Right? So roll it for say 1 minute, and if you're feeling it better, then you can go for 2 minutes as well. 1 minute each exercise. Right? So this was for your back. The entire back can be covered from here till here. Right? Don't try to injure yourself. Don't try to flex too much so that your spine is getting hurt. Right? So don't flex too much. Just keep it relaxed and try to just roll it as if somebody is rolling roti on you. Right? Next is your buttocks, right? You can go for both the buttocks together. So keep your hands behind your body and bend your knees up and down. Bend your knee, roll it up and down, right? If you want to increase the intensity, you go for a unilateral side, the single side. Bend your knee, bend your knee. Yeah. Keep it up. On top. So you bend one knee over the other and then roll it. Right? Again, roll it for 1 minute. and switch on the other side. Right? So Dr. Mahesh is enjoying it a lot because he has to stand all the time, right? Then yeah, you further go downstairs in the hamstring. So again, you can do it together, one by one. Correct? So 1 minute for that. Or if you want to do it single leg at a time, you just flip one leg over the other and roll it. So this is for the hamstring. Same thing, we have to drag it down to the calves. Take it down. Roll it over the calves. So 2 at a time. And same thing, if you want to do, if you want to apply more pressure over it, just place one leg over the other and roll it. You try to stretch out the whole muscle if possible, right? If your hands are getting tired, just take a break for a while and then start it again, right? Okay. We haven't still got the question from Sam Sami. Okay. I cannot lie flat on my back and walk for more than 20 minutes. More than 20 minutes causes me pain. Okay. Um, okay. Have you gotten your MRI done or X-ray done? It's because it is essential for you to get the so that we can differentially diagnose what exactly is wrong with you. There are conditions where your space in between the spinal cord shortens, shrinks because of the calcification or any other reasons. So that causes pain while walking. So I would suggest that you go for an X-ray or MRI to differentiate whether what exactly is causing the pain. Okay. So I had my surgery on knee 5 months back. Now the back and left side buttock pains. Sometimes I feel I'm limping. Why is it? And do you fix it? Yes, you can fix it. Usually what happens is, since the lower leg, the ankle, your knee, your hip and your back comes in a chain, right? If something goes down wrong down in the ankle, it eventually affects your back, right? So what happens is usually when you get hurt on one side, your other side takes the load. It's a mechanism of your body that if one side is affected, the other side always takes the load, right? So it can go on the other side of the limb or it can go in the main chain, that is your back, right? So that's why you can have pain. Also, if you're limping, I need to know why you're limping, because after surgery, it happens that your hip slips up, like your hip tends to go up because it is still trying to protect the knee, right? So consult a physio, consult an ortho so that they can clarify exactly how to take care of it. Okay, so I think we can end this live session. And if you have further questions, you can always comment. We'll be replying to the questions
one
as
question
well.
from Neha Bhardwaj. I cannot lie flat on my back and walking for us. We have done that.
Okay, so see you next time with some fresh new topics, and also suggest what we can explain you further and how we can help you. All right, see you then.
So for any queries and other thing, you can just ping on our Facebook page and Instagram page, the same ID, and you can contact our number.